Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, I'm your host, Mrs. M. And if you haven't, make sure you click the link below. That way you can subscribe to my channel and not miss out on anything you need to scale your business to 6 figures and beyond. How? So today I'm going to talk about increasing your Gov win. What do you need to do to be relevant and attractive to someone that's looking to reach out to you? So like I've said before, one of the main ways I like to teach is how to win contracts by bringing the contracting officer to me. So I'm looking to leave some little breadcrumbs along the way, so that way they can find me. Well, how do they find me? The number one way you're found is in your dynamic small business search profile. Now, there are millions, probably millions of companies that are small businesses just like you that are in there. So it's just not enough to be in the DSBS. You actually have to be found. Now, there are quite a few search engines when it comes to government, but the main one is that. And I know that the number one way that they're really looking for you is keywords. If I'm looking for something specifically, then if I put in a NAICS code, let's say I put in 561210, well, everyone comes up. But if I put in certain keywords, I'm going to filter out what I am not looking for and get left with what I'm looking for. Just like in anything else, if I'm doing an interview, I'm looking at ways to eliminate. So because there's so many people. Well, it's the same way with government. They're looking to put you on the short list. They're going to narrow out, clean out the filter, and what they end up with is what they're interested in. So you need to make sure that you have some really relevant keywords. And I ask someone all the time this one thing: what would make me want to work with your company? If you don't have years of experience, let's say you don't have this large team, let's say you don't have a lot of past experience, you don't, so why you? What is it that's so great about your company that makes me say, I want to work with that company? Well, let me give you a couple of minutes to think about that, or a couple of seconds at least. If you can't give me an answer right on the spot, then you don't know either. You should be able to tell me right away why I should work with your company. My company saves this government agency money. My company has this trademark training program. Our nurses, have this, or our IT, or transportation. You should be able to give me verbatim on why I should work with you. Now, one of the things I find interesting, there are some agencies like Department of Homeland Security that will work with a lot of companies that are new. But even they're looking for someone that probably has some experience, either in the commercial private side, or let's say you've done subbing. When I first got started, when I noticed that I was really picking up momentum was when I started subbing. Subbing was the first thing that I did. And I made sure I subbed with some really great companies. They loved me because I went in eager and I was really ready to go. So I started doing 3 or 4 subcontracting, and I noticed then I started, being able to understand what was going on. I didn't have to invest a whole lot until I knew that was something I wanted to do. And once I realized the government contract, me being in that market space, me actually being a federal government contractor, changed my life. It was a game changer. The rest was history. So Department of Homeland Security is a great place. That's one thing I would do if I'm looking to win something right now. Look for agencies that don't mind working with small businesses, but still understand and be realistic. A lot of them want you to have subcontracting under your belt. The other thing is, I always say, look at how they buy and what they buy. I think the U.S. Department of Agriculture is one of those agencies that give you step by step on how they go about finding their next, person that they're looking at working with. It's easy to follow their steps. You've got let's say you have their budget. You know exactly what language they're speaking because they're telling you. You don't have to put it all together. So what would I do? I would focus on researching. Research, which is going to put me ahead of a lot of people. A lot of people do not like to research, or they don't know how. The other thing is I'm going to focus on targeting. Targeting, like I mentioned, Department of Homeland Security, or from a veteran, I'm going to go with Veteran Affairs. But I'm going to look at their budget first so that I can speak their language. And that means I'm going to be relevant and attractive. And then I'm going to make sure I put a lot of those keywords in my dynamic small business profile, my DSBS profile. All of this is going to matter to me. And then I'm going to start looking for those opportunities. Now, I'm always a big proponent of looking for the opportunities like no bids. Those are going to be my, kind of focus on that sweet spot, which is 25K to 250. And I'm going to make sure I have really, really relevant keywords. It's going to make me attractive and relevant. I'm going to start building up those opportunities. I'm going to look for short-term and long-term. Short-term is the next 90 days. Long-term could be when I'm looking at the fourth quarter, which is in September. These are things you can do to do your GovWin, to win a contract now. So if you really want to be relevant and attractive, make sure you say the things that I'm looking for. If I'm looking for a dentist that works with small children that maybe have ADHD, that's really, really, really specific. I'm going to make sure I put in keywords that talk about working with small children with ADHD. Another contract that I found out that they were doing, and I hear this a lot, working with Microsoft, teaching people how to do Microsoft, or teaching elders how to use computers. There's so many things. There's millions and millions of dollars in various areas. But the key is to know what to do. You need to have a repeatable, predictable strategy where you can close your eyes, you can throw a dart, and you can repeat it each and every time. And I've given you some steps to help you do that. Now, if you'd like to know more, every week I have my GovCon Lunch and Learn. And what I do is I take a subject, and during lunch, I teach it to you. I do it every Wednesday, and it's absolutely free. So if you'd like to learn more detail, I gave you the high level. My goal is to give you the eye level. Make sure you sign up. Just click the link, and I look forward to you joining me. Until next time, be safe, and bye-bye.